morning you guys, it's Karen and I'm here today to talk about this new range by No7 called Advanced Ingredients. I got the vitamin C and vitamin E first, and then I got the Hyaluronic Acid and Camellia Oil. There are also another two and I will talk about each one. I'll talk about all four, but I first want to talk about the concept of it, which is how they come in capsules. So they come in these little capsules. Probably the most famous capsule type product, it's easier if I just show you like that, isn't it? And there's a little capsule there, is the Elizabeth Arden capsules. I think they were probably the most popular one, weren't they? So you've got this little capsule and you just twist the end off. It's really, really easy to do, because if it was too fiddly that would be something that really bothered me, but it's actually very easy to do. What I did was I weighed this. I've got a little diamond scale because this wouldn't wouldn't measure on your kitchen scale. I weighed it like that and then squeezed all the stuff out like that, and then weighed this again to see how much product you actually get. You get 30 capsules in each of the jars, and there's about 0.25 grams of product in each capsule. Yes, that's right, 0.25 grams. Look at your notes, Kaz. Okay, so that means that the total product amount in each of these jars is 7.5 grams. So it's a really small amount of product you get overall. That's something I think is worth knowing. I wanted to try and find something that I could compare. The only thing I've got is this little Argania hair oil. See this little pot here? This is 5 ml, so it would be a little bit more than this. That's about how much product you would get. So you don't get very much product, but the idea is that each capsule, the first and the last capsule that you use in the jar, will be as stable as each other. So there will be no, you know, when you get air to a product, when you get light to a product, the thinking is that the stability of the product changes and degrades. And so the thinking with the capsules, well, not even the thinking, it is the case with the capsules that they will be, the last capsule you use will be as stable as the first one. I've got a couple of issues with that because I honestly think that this is a bit of a gimmick. And my issues are, I think that a product in a tube, as long as the tube is, you know, made of the same material, i.e. opaque and doesn't let the light in, and has a very small opening or is in an airless pump, then it should not degrade anyway. You know, it should be something that they have already looked at and tested. If this is sat on somebody's shelf, will this stay stable? You know, there should be things in it, there should be products or ingredients in the product that make it stable anyway. You know, this would make it seem as if they're saying that if you buy a serum from them, after 30 days it's not going to be quite as potent, but really it should be, if not as potent, almost as potent, you know, not too far off it. So that's my first kind of issue. I don't think we should have to buy things in capsules. I don't think that that is the case. I think that things nowadays are, you know, as long as they're in the right packaging and they are tested, then they should be fairly stable. That all depends on the ingredient, of course, and that's my other kind of issue with this, is that there's only really one thing here that isn't stable. The rest of them are stable ingredients, so there's not really any need for them to be in capsules. The way that No7 describe it is they say that because they're in capsules, they are targeted, and I don't really understand that. It doesn't make any sense to me that they are targeted because they're in capsules. You put the cream on your finger the same way you would if you were squeezing it from a tube, so it's not specifically targeted. So I don't really understand that. You guys know I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with No7 because there are some products, the makeup, skincare, that I love, absolutely love, and other products that I just think are marketing, and I think they're just trying to make big claims that don't always ring true, you know. I know that there is a lot of people that are die-hard No7 fans, and so will believe anything they say. You know, when I talked about the line correcting serum way back when that came out, you know, people were upset that I hadn't used it for a long time. But what I'm talking about here, because I haven't used these for a long time either, I think I've used these about 5 or 6 times. These I've used 2 or 3 times, and I'll explain why when I talk about the individual ones. But I'm talking about what the ingredients are, the value for money and how much you're getting for your money, and what they feel like as a first impressions, not the actual results you'll get from these ingredients. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, so those are my issues. I worked it out per gram, and if you've got, you know how I've got had the vitamin C from No7. I love that. I absolutely love it, but it is a derivative, but that means that it's more stable. The vitamin C, you get 25 ml for £20, and this vitamin C is £20 for 7.5 grams. That works out that this is £2.66 per gram, but the vitamin C in their dropper bottle is 80 pence per gram. So it's more than 3 times more expensive to buy the capsules. Just to let you know about the capsule outer part, it is 95% plant-based and it is plastic free, so that's good. So let me go on and tell you about each of these. The first one obviously is the vitamin C, and you'll notice that there's more of these left, and that's because there's no way I can use them. They are too irritating for me. Even putting it on my hand there, it makes my hand itch and kind of sting. I don't think that's anything to do with the product. I think that is just my skin doesn't like ascorbic acid. So ascorbic acid is the ingredient in this vitamin C and vitamin E, which is the truest form of vitamin C, if you like. And so this is the one that it is known to be unstable, and so it is a good thing that it's in capsules. There's no fragrance in here, but like I said, for me it just irritates my skin. As soon as I put it on, I could feel my face itching. I tried to sort of wait it out, but it took a long time to calm down, and I just felt like my skin was irritated after using it. So I've been using it on my hands actually and mixing it in with a bit of hand cream, but yeah, not for me. So with this one, would I recommend it? I would, if you don't mind spending 3 times as much to make sure 100% that it's stable, because it is ascorbic acid, which is known to be unstable. But you can buy stable vitamin C and get much more for your money. But like I said, if you are a real No7 fan, then these, there's no fragrance or anything in them. It is ascorbic acid, and they will be nice and stable in these little capsules. Next is the Hyaluronic Acid and Camellia Oil ones. So there's not many of these left because I have been using them a lot because I really, really like these. I love the product inside, really, really like it. It almost feels like a dry, it doesn't look like it's dry, but it almost feels like a dry product. But what do I mean by that? It almost feels like a primer, but your skin feels so super smooth afterwards. I'm assuming that the product I'm enjoying is the Camellia Oil because I don't think I've ever used that before. So that's it over my hand. It almost feels as if it's made my hand look matte, but it doesn't feel matte, It's really hard to explain, but it's a really beautiful feeling product. It's also fragrance free, and the main ingredients obviously are hyaluronic acid, different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid, and camellia oil. Camellia oil is stable. Hyaluronic acid is fairly stable. And so again, my issue with this really is that I don't think there's any need for this to be in capsule form. If this was a 30 ml tube as they normally give you, or even 20 ml for the same price, I think this would be something I'd want in my routine because it just feels so lovely. But I'm not going to repurchase this. £20 for 7.5 grams of product is just too much in my opinion, when it's unnecessary to me to put these in capsules. The vitamin C, I can more see why they would do that. Then there is the other two I don't have. The next one is the squalane. It is 100% squalane, so there's no other ingredients in it. It's the same price, they're all £20. Squalane is one of the most stable oils around. It is not unstable at all. And squalane is also something that is very easy to get a good one. The Ordinary Dew one, Inculus Dew one, I use the one from Biossance. There's lovely squalane oils from almost every brand, and they're very inexpensive, and there is really no reason to put those in capsules as far as I can see. So I would say don't buy it. There's just no reason to. There's nothing different about it at all. It is 100% squalane. There's no reason to buy it. Number 4 is the Ceramides and Peptides one, which I was really interested in, and I was buying like I bought the vitamin C one, and then I later bought this one, the Camellia Oil one, and I was going to get the peptides one, but I managed to read the ingredients, and there is perfume in the top 10 of the ceramides one, before even the ceramide is listed. And actually the ceramide and peptides are quite low on the list after squalane and camellia, so I keep going to reach for it as if I have it and I don't. But in the ceramide and peptide capsules, there is camellia oil and squalane above the peptides and the ceramides, and also fragrances above that as well. So that really let it down for me, and I was like, no, definitely not going to use that. The other thing is that peptides are mostly stable and ceramides are stable. So again, I don't feel like there's any reason to put them in capsules, you know. So I don't recommend you get the squalane because I feel like it's way too expensive and there are plenty of other options out there. I don't recommend you get the ceramide and peptides because it has perfume in it, and there's no need for it to be in capsules. The vitamin C, potentially, you could get it if you, like I said, don't mind spending extra money on just like to be sure that it is stable and fresh, etc. And the camellia oil and hyaluronic acid, maybe you could treat yourself just to feel how lovely a product it is. But I hope that they come out with something that feels like this, that is not in capsules. And be interesting to see how long the capsule range lasts. You know, apparently capsules are a big thing for kind of last year and this year in skincare. And I really just think it's the novelty, you know. Actually, if anybody uses anything else with camellia oil in it, let me know, and I'll have to have a little look myself and see if I can find anything, because it just feels so lovely. But yeah, that one would be kind of a luxury treat, I guess. I mean, it's the kind of thing that I'd be happy to get as a present, you know, or if I was in there and there was some super offer on and it meant that, you know, me buying this fulfilled the offer, then I might well pick them up again. That's everything for today. I hope that was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. I'll list all of my makeup in the description, and I'll speak to you again soon.